actions, but she also spoke so gently to me. So no matter what happens, I will protect her, Mir. In the end, he made up his mind to explain things clearly to her. Me, actually, there's something I want to tell you. Me asked in surprise, what is it? He looked firmly into her eyes and said, I know you might find it hard to accept. But you have to believe that I will never harm you. Out of concern for your safety, I want to tell you a secret. It's about the identity of the heir to the demonic arts. Me immediately replied, I know, it's the Divine Emperor's son, Xiang. Hearing this, Xiang spat out the tea he had just sipped. He tried to explain to her, actually, Xiang has been wronged. The real heir to the demonic arts is someone else. Me asked, then who is the real heir? Xiang shouted loudly, Gu Chang'e. That pretentious, cunning, and treacherous guy. Stay away from him, he's very dangerous. As soon as Xiang finished speaking, Me just softly said, which left him shocked. Why? Me, aren't you surprised? Don't you believe me? At this moment, her eyes lit up as she mischievously looked at him and said, because I've always known. It was unknown when, but Gu Chang'e had already appeared behind Xiang, coldly speaking, you have no evidence, how can you slander my innocence without basis? At the same time, a message panel reading, 5100, appeared above Xiang's head. Under Xiang's terrified gaze, Gu Chang'e coldly continued, Divine Emperor's son Xiang, or should I call you a stable boy? Xiang was trembling all over, looking behind him in fear, you. He immediately turned around and attacked Gu Chang'e, shouting angrily, how did you know this secret? However, Gu Chang'e's body instantly turned into a shadow and flew toward Me. He looked at Xiang smugly, that's right, I know everything. Your identity, background, meaning, and purpose, I am fully aware. And your current situation is all arranged by me. Xiang clenched his fists in anger, it's really you, Gu Chang'e. Gu Chang'e sneered as he looked at him, letting you carry this false reputation for so long, I actually feel quite guilty. So today, I'm here to help you get rid of it. Xiang roared as he charged at him, I'm going to fight you. He then gathered his power and launched a fierce attack at Gu Chang'e. Suddenly, Me stepped forward and stood in front of Gu Chang'e. Both of them looked at Xiang proudly, we've been waiting for you to make a move. Facing her sudden action, Xiang was shocked and thought, Me, what's going on? Then, a loud bang rang out, and Me was sent flying. The scene immediately attracted everyone's attention. What happened? The people around began to stir. That's Me, the celestial lady of the nine-tailed clan. What's going on? At this moment, Me lay on the ground, coughing violently, weakly pleading for help. She looked at Xiang in panic and shouted loudly, the heir to the demonic arts, Xiang, is right here. Hurry up. The people around also looked shocked at the What? The heir to the demonic arts is actually in the Black Tortoise Kingdom? Is it him? He is the heir. Xiang was completely stunned, stammering, no, it's not like that. I clearly held back. Why? In the distance, a group of people flew over, shouting angrily, you traitor. Even if you grow wings today, you won't escape. I'll wash away the shame for the heavenly Emperor Mountain. Xiang looked at them in surprise, Divine Emperor's son. How are you here? The Divine Emperor's son looked at Xiang with a proud face, are you surprised? I've long heard that a genius was harmed in the Black Tortoise Kingdom, so I secretly infiltrated. Although I don't know how you colluded with Xiang, that little trick won't fool me. Jin Chan, who was beside him, also spoke. Amipa, the killing sin on your hands is too heavy. Put down your weapon and surrender. At this moment, Xiang wished he could expose Gu Chang'e's true face right away. Damn, Gu Chang'e is nowhere to be seen, explaining is useless, I can only escape for now. Xiang quickly soared into the air, and the Divine Emperor's son immediately pursued him, traitor. Do you think you can escape? At the same time, Jin Chan quickly walked toward Eun-mi, asking with concern, "Miss, are you alright?" Eun-mi weakly replied, "Luckily. I reacted fast, otherwise, he would have struck a fatal blow." At this moment, a voice from the Divine Emperor's son came from the sky, "Jin Chan, you are a monk, stop asking a woman about her well-being. Quickly follow me to chase this villain." Upon hearing this, Jin Chan immediately spoke, "Amitabha, don't speak nonsense, benefactor." He then quickly caught up with the Divine Emperor's son, and the surrounding people began discussing, "Strange, he actually dares to make a move in the city. Indeed, the heir of the demon art is always cunning, how could he act so openly?" At this moment, Yu stood where she was, looking at Ing Chang's back, with a worried expression, silently thinking, "Brother." While Eun-mi, hearing the discussions around her, also sighed, it seems not everyone is foolish. However, a sly smile gradually appeared at the corner of her mouth. At this time, Gu Chang'e walked over from behind, looking surprised. "What happened here? The heir of the demon art has appeared." Upon hearing his voice, Yu was a little surprised, "Young master Gu." The people in the city also called out, "Young master Chang'e. Young master Chang'e is here." Eun-mi, looking at him, lightly coughed, "Brother Chang'e." Seeing her expression, Yu was a little surprised, "Weren't you fine just a moment ago?" Gu Chang'e quickly walked to Eun-mi's side, asking with concern, "Junior sister Eun-mi, how did you get injured?" Eun-mi weakly covered her wound and replied, "I was injured by the heir of the demon art just now. Thank you for your concern, senior brother, I'm fine, I'll recover in a few days." The two of them cooperated perfectly in acting, while Yu still stared at them in a daze. At this moment, a man standing aside spoke, "Young master Chang'e, that guy has already escaped the city after getting injured." Upon hearing this, Gu Chang'e's face darkened, and he angrily scolded, "Cunning tactics, indeed, he is still in the Xuanwu kingdom." After speaking, he immediately comforted Eun-mi, "Junior sister Eun-mi, don't worry, I will get justice for you." Upon hearing these words, she couldn't help but admire his acting skills but still cooperated, "Thank you, senior brother." Chang'e stepped forward and firmly said aloud, "Everyone, please rest assured, I came all the way here to capture this villain. I will bring him to justice." As soon as he finished speaking, everyone around shouted in unison, "Great! Young master Chang'e, you must catch the heir of the demon art." Gu Chang'e continued, "Indeed. Today the three targets are all gathered here, the heir of the demon art has no way to escape." At this time, the Divine Emperor's son and Jin Chan were still desperately chasing Ing Chang, with the Divine Emperor's son angrily shouting, "Ing Chang, stop right there." Jin Chan also spoke, "Amitabha, don't struggle in vain, benefactor." The three of them chased and fled, eventually breaking through the Xuanwu ancient kingdom. While desperately fleeing, Ing Chang angrily explained, "How many times do I have to say it, I am not the heir of the demon art, when will you believe me? How did you end up being so foolish?" The Divine Emperor's son angrily shouted, "Enough. Traitor, don't make me arrest you." Seeing that he couldn't convince the Divine Emperor's son, Ing Chang thought of a countermeasure, "I must quickly find a safe place to hide, Gu Chang'e is definitely still nearby, I must not get entangled any longer." Gu Chang'e suddenly appeared out of nowhere, blocking Ing Chang's way, and shouted coldly, "Ing Chang, you can't escape." Ing Chang, seeing him appear, exclaimed in surprise, "Gu Chang'e." Before he could react, he was struck back by Chang'e with a palm. At this moment, Ing Chang, who was completely unprepared, felt a demonic energy quietly enter his body. At this time, Ing Chang was completely surrounded, and he looked at Chang'e with anger, "You despicable man, how dare you call yourself the number one of the younger generation?" "Pa!" The Divine Emperor's son looked at Chang'e in confusion. How did Gu Chang'e arrive so quickly? Jin Chan also advised, "Benefactor, do not persist in your delusion." Meanwhile, Gu Chang'e continued to play his part, "Brother Ing, there's no need to argue anymore." At this moment, Ing Chang's eyes were full of anger and disappointment. He gritted his teeth and angrily shouted at the Divine Emperor's son and Jin Chan, "You idiots, being played around by him, honest people are being driven to death." After speaking, he shouted angrily, "Fine, since that's the case, I'll fight you to the end." As soon as he finished speaking, Ing Chang immediately summoned a supreme artifact and shouted angrily, "Soul-taming ancient spirit." A giant bell appeared, its power vast, and it covered the entire sky. Upon seeing this, Jin Chan exclaimed, "It's a supreme artifact." The Divine Emperor's son threatened, "Do you think that with just one supreme artifact, you can stop me?" The three of them used all their strength to resist the pressure of the soul-taming ancient spirit, while Ing Chang seized the opportunity to escape. The Divine Emperor's son looked at his back and immediately shouted angrily, "This coward, using a trick and running away again." At this moment, Gu Changa reminded them, "Both of you, leave this thing to me, quickly go after him." As soon as he finished speaking, he turned and walked in the opposite direction, a sinister smile slowly appearing on his face, secretly pleased. "Yes, run in that direction." Jin Chan didn't doubt him at all and sincerely thanked Gu Changa, "Then I'll trouble young Master Changa." Meanwhile, the Divine Emperor's son secretly rejoiced, thinking he would soon achieve great merit, and contemptuously looked at Changa, thinking to himself, "Fool. Once I catch Ing Chang, the name of the emperor will be mine." Gu Changa still pretended to be concerned, "Both of you, hurry and chase, don't let him escape." The two quickly pursued Ing Chang. The Divine Emperor's son looked at Jin Chan and suggested, "This traitor has entered a place where the desolate disaster is about to occur. Ahead there's a lot of desolate energy. How about we split up and chase him?" Jin Chan agreed, "All right, then the Divine Emperor's son should be extra careful." The Divine Prince is very pleased with his plan at this moment, secretly rejoicing. Ing Xiang carries the aura of the Heavenly Emperor. Mountain's techniques. At this distance, it will be difficult for him to escape my pursuit. This merit will only belong to me. After a moment, the cultivators behind also caught up to the place where Gu Changa was. "That's young Master Changa." Another cultivator saw the situation and quickly shouted, "It's the soul-subduing ancient spirit of Heavenly Emperor Mountain. Young Master Changa has also summoned his supreme artifact to fight back." Seeing this, one cultivator immediately asked, "Young Master Changa, what about the inheritor of the demonic art?" Changa answered with difficulty, "Everyone, the inheritor of the demonic art has already fled deep into the forbidden land. I am about to assist the Divine Prince and Jin Chanzi, there is no need for you to take risks." Upon hearing this, the surrounding cultivators spoke in unison, "Young Master Changa, you must capture him." At the same time, Ruanmi and the others also arrived at the scene. Ruanmi asked, "Senior brother Changa, where are they?" A cultivator immediately pointed ahead and said, "Young Master Changa just left. They have already gone deep into the forbidden land to chase after the inheritor of the demonic art." Upon hearing about Changa, Ruanmi was immediately shocked and exclaimed, "This is bad. They must have fallen into a trap." Seeing Ruanmi so anxious, everyone around couldn't help but feel surprised. Ing Yu was also somewhat puzzled and asked, What do you mean, Lady Ruanmi?" At this moment, Ruanmi's face was filled with terror, and she hesitated. As she explained, "The inheritor of the demonic art has been hiding for so long, why would they suddenly appear to attack me? Now that I think about it, perhaps their target was never me, but young Master Changa, they." Before Ruanmi finished speaking, Ing Yu exclaimed, "You mean, he deliberately appeared to lure the talents on the list into the forbidden land?" Another cultivator was equally shocked. "What?" Nearby cultivators also stammered, "This." Seeing everyone's reaction, Ruanmi said dejectedly, "I can't rule out that possibility." At this time, one person beside her angrily said, "That's right, don't forget there is still an inheritor of the demonic art organization behind him. They must have already set up an ambush deep within the forbidden land." Ruanmi looked up at the two supreme artifacts still battling, her face full of worry as she said, "Right now, senior brother Changa's supreme artifact is still outside, it's probably filled with dangers inside. Upon hearing her words, the other cultivators also began to feel fearful. God, the inheritor of the demonic art, must want to eliminate all the talents in one go. Seeing that everyone was gradually believing her words, Wanmi continued to pretend to be heartbroken, tears in her eyes as she self-blamed. It's all my fault. She rushed forward in great pain. No, I must go find senior brother Changa. Last time, he was injured even in his original state to save me. Ingyu was startled by Wanmi's impulsive behavior and quickly stopped her. Lady Wanmi, you can't go. The strength under the list will only cause chaos if they enter now. Ingyu and the person beside quickly grabbed her hands and persuaded her. Miss, the Heavenly Empress is right. At this moment, Wanmi's tears slid down her cheeks, her face full of pain as she said, but, what should we do now? If something happens to senior brother Changa, I will follow him. Ingyu looked at her worriedly and said, young Master Changa and the others are not the type to be easily defeated, they will definitely overcome the danger. At this moment, deep within the Forbidden Yin land, violent attacks erupted continuously. Ing Xiang's sword was knocked away and harshly impaled into the ground. He was then covered in wounds, forcibly knocked down, and crashed to the ground. The Divine Prince's face was full of killing intent as he coldly stared at Ing Xiang, sneering, aren't you the inheritor of the demonic art? How come you only have this much ability? Quickly use the demonic art and show me. Looking at the Divine Prince's arrogant posture, Ing Xiang angrily roared, you idiot. I've told you countless times, I am not. The Divine Prince slowly walked towards Ing Xiang, speaking coldly as he approached. That day, you tried to harm you, the world knows. How dare you still deny it, you traitor? Ing Xiang stepped back in fear. I didn't. She is my sister, how could I really want to harm her? Upon hearing Ing Xiang's words, the Divine Prince immediately questioned, then how do you explain hiding and evading after severely injuring Gu Changa for so long? Ing Xiang desperately tried to explain, attempting to reverse the situation. Those things were all part of Gu Changa's act, that's why he is the real inheritor of the demonic art. He is the mastermind, everything was his design. The Divine Prince still looked doubtful, continuing to approach, sneering, oh. Where's the evidence? Looking at the murderous aura on the Divine Prince's spear, Ing Xiang cried out in fear, although I don't have evidence, every time something happens, Gu Changa is there. Don't you find that strange? He's a hypocrite. You've all been deceived by him. As soon as Ing Xiang finished speaking, the Divine Prince couldn't help but show some hesitation. Suddenly, a familiar voice came from afar, catching both their attention. Finally found you. Gu Changa slowly walked towards the Divine Prince, his expression calm as he said, has the Divine Prince not made a move yet? Upon hearing this, the Divine Prince immediately replied, Gu Changa. How did you find this place? Looking at Gu Changa, he secretly thought to himself, could it be that Ing Xiang was telling the truth? Gu Changa still calmly answered, it was just good luck. Upon seeing Gu Changa's appearance, Ing Xiang immediately shouted, Gu Changa, what exactly do you want to do? We have no grievances or enmity, do you really have to force me into a desperate situation? Yin Chang just finished speaking and sneered, replying, Brother Yin, have you forgotten your identity? The heirs of the demonic arts and righteous cultivators like me are inherently opposed. With that, he glared sharply at Yin Chang, if I were to destroy you, wouldn't the world be peaceful? Suddenly, a strong demonic aura erupted from Yin Chang's body, even he himself was shocked and shouted, what? What is this? Meanwhile, the Divine Prince looked at him in shock and said, demonic aura, so you have been deceiving me. Behind them, Gu Changa wore a satisfied expression and calmly said, Brother Yin, at this point, any further denial is useless. Yin Chang, still panicking, explained, no, it's not mine. What did you do? At this moment, the Divine Prince could no longer listen to any of Yin Chang's words. He turned to Gu Changa and quietly said, Gu Changa, step back. His life, I will take myself.